I never believed that walking away could be a form of strength until her. It started like most stories do, with fire, with laughter, with that magnetic pull that makes you think, this, this could be forever. She was the kind of woman who could light up a room without saying a word. Her presence demanded attention, and naturally, I gave mine all of it. I wasn't perfect, but I was consistent. I showed up. I listened. I stayed loyal. I was the one who chose her even when she didn't always choose me. But somewhere along the way, she stopped seeing me. I started noticing the changes, small, silent betrayals. The texts got shorter, colder. The calls became rarer. Her eyes would drift when I spoke. And her smile? It wasn't mine anymore. It was the kind of smile you wear when you're already halfway out the door, looking for someone else. I never asked her to stay. Maybe I should have. But when she left that night, her words sharp, her tone careless, something inside me just broke. Not with noise, not with begging, not with a dramatic plea. I just nodded and walked away. She waited for me to turn around. I know she did. She expected texts, calls. She thought I'd beg her to come back. She thought I'd prove my love through desperation. But all she heard from me was silence. I disappeared from her world. And for the first time in years, I focused on myself. The first nights were brutal. I won't lie. You don't just erase love. You grieve it. You mourn the versions of you that existed only because of them. But every day, without her every painful morning, every quiet evening became a lesson, a chance to rebuild. And slowly, I started doing the things I had once stopped doing for her. I read again. I worked out not to impress anyone, but to feel strong again. I went out with friends I had pushed aside. I laughed, genuinely, deeply. And somewhere in the middle of healing, she appeared. She wasn't flashy. She didn't try to own the room, but she listened. She saw Minot just the polished parts, but the pieces I had tried so hard to hide, and she stayed. She matched my energy. She brought peace, not chaos. For the first time, I didn't feel like I had to prove my worth. I didn't feel like love was something to be earned. It was given freely, quietly, authentically. Then, one evening like fate had a cruel sense of humor. I saw her. The woman I had once waited for. The one who thought I'd chase her. She was standing at the same coffee shop we used to visit. She hadn't changed much, still radiating the same confidence. But her eyes betrayed her. She didn't expect to see me. And she definitely didn't expect to see me happy with someone else. Someone who laughed at my stupid jokes, who reached for my hand just to feel connected, who looked at me like I was enough more than enough. Her face fell. She tried to play it cool. She approached with that same smirk, that same familiar tone. Hey, been a while. I nodded politely. Yeah, it has. She glanced at the woman beside me. Who's this? And I looked over, smiled gently, and said, someone who makes it easy to love again. There it was, the flicker of regret. She looked down, then back at me. You didn't even fight for me, she whispered. I shrugged. Fighting for someone who doesn't want to be held is like pouring water into a broken glass. You don't fix people who don't want to stay. You let them go. She blinked, stunned. That wasn't the man she remembered. She remembered the man who would have moved mountains for her, who would have apologized just to keep the peace, who would have traded his self-respect for crumbs of attention. But that man? He stopped existing the moment she made it clear he wasn't enough. I used to think closure came from long conversations, from apologies, from clarity. But sometimes, closure is simply becoming someone they never imagined you'd be without them. She walked away that day this time, quietly. And I didn't chase her. Because the thing about silence is, it teaches you everything you once ignored. I don't hate her. I never could. But I thank her. Because in the empty space she left behind, I found everything I'd lost, my voice, my worth, my peace. And I learned, sometimes the strongest thing you can do isn't to fight for someone to stay. It's to walk away without a fight and never look back.